The mysterious Frost is the Emperor of Universe 6. What is his relationship to Frieza? And what will be his impact in Dragon Ball Super? But more importantly, does his existence change the history of Frieza's race? And what we know? Find out next. Be sure to check out our friends over at Dragon Ball Z Exclusives on Facebook. I will put the link down below. Hello there, beautiful friends from around the world. I'll be your host for this discussion geekdom as we talk about the Emperor of Universe 6, Frost. And joining me on this discussion, first of all, the man who invented that intro that I just came up with right now. Well, he didn't invent it. He took it from Toonami and made it better. BLACKENFIST.
What if Frost was Frieza's brother inside Dragon Ball Super?
GT. What a dick.
Yeah, so BLACKENFIST here, and obviously we want to talk about what's inside of Dragon Ball Super right now, because Dragon Ball Super is a place we want to get inside.
I'll tell you a couple ladies I want to get inside that are pretty super, but that's another story for another day. Speaking of getting inside ladies, let's introduce them. Let's introduce a man whose whole gimmick is doing that. Super Jayan.
What's up, guys? Jane here. Get burnt. How's it going, guys? Great to be here.
It's just freaking YouTuber tribute night or whatever. All right, so let's talk about Frost.
Hey, man, I never tributed no one. No, it was not a tribute.
Well, I tributed you. All right, let's talk about Frost. So recently we did a video where we covered the leaks from Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 9, which essentially revealed that Frost, the Emperor of Universe 6, is not only a good character, a good person. He's not evil like Frieza is. He also has the same transformations as Frieza. Now, we did not see the second form. We saw the third and the fourth form, and they're pretty much almost identical to Frieza's third and fourth form. Now, Jay, I need to talk to you about this one because I'm trying to remember in the back of my head from the Dragon Ball manga specifically. Did Frieza say that he created this first three forms because I remember distinctly he said that the first three forms of Frieza are not his true forms. His fourth form is his real form, and the first three forms are there so he can conserve energy because he can't control himself when he's in his fourth form. Did he say that he created those forms, that he can tap into those forms? I don't remember exactly.
Okay, well, keep in mind, I'm going off my memory as well. In the dub and in the Japanese dub and in the manga, I believe he says he uses those forms to conserve energy. But the thing that begs the question there is obviously when he obtained the golden form in Resurrection of F, he made that transformation gold. That is a fact.
Yes.
So
the evolution.
He obviously can manipulate his form, so it's highly possible that he did create those forms, but I believe in the manga and the Japanese dub that he does say he uses those forms to conserve energy. He only says he uses them, he didn't create them.
So it's a possibility then that Frost did not, just like Frieza, can tap into the same or similar looking forms, but not necessarily create those forms.
Yeah, and I'll just add, if Frost has the exact same looking transformations, you would have to say that Frieza didn't really create them if Frost has the exact same forms.
So that leads me to the next question. I'm going to go to BLACKENFIST on this one. Does this confirm, in your opinion, that King Cold, when in the version of King Cold that we saw, which resembled Frieza's second form tremendously, does this, if all of Frieza's race, Frieza clan, if they all can do this, if they all have the same biology, so to speak, does that mean that King Cold was indeed in his second form when he showed up to confront Trunks?
Frost is a part of Frieza's race. Obviously, same race. We don't know what that race is called yet, at least within the context of the show. But if Frost is able to do these forms, that means that you would have to assume it's a racial ability, just like, for instance, transforming into a Super Saiyan is for the Saiyans.
Yeah, you think it's a biological thing is what you're telling me.
Exactly.
I'll just add that the race's form is not the Arcosians, for those that you're wondering.
I was going to say that, yeah, if anybody wants to comment about the race called the Arcosian.
Don't make me go into that Arcosian business now.
Arcosian is a dub-only term from the Ocean dub that was a carryover. It's not in Kai, and it's not in the Japanese version. It's an old dub line from many years ago that stuck. But go ahead.
But anyway, what I'm saying is if these transformations, which it seems to be now because Frost transforms in him. If they're a racial ability, people have debated on whether King Cold was in his second form, because that form,
Yes.
the way King Cold looked, it looked very similar to the way Frieza looked when
Except
he
taller.
transformed.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Frost just seems to confirm those years of speculation that, yeah, King Cold probably was in his second form. I don't know what else to say about that. Which
Means that people are going to speculate as to whether or not fourth form King Cold could have taken on Trunks. That's been the argument for years with no validation. Now there might actually be some validation to it. Now, you did a video on your channel, BLACKENFIST, entitled "Toriyama Says Crazy Things." One of the crazy things that he said is that King Cold and Frieza are essentially mutants. They're special members of their race in that they are more powerful than anybody else in their race. Now, within the context of the manga and the anime, we have never, ever seen another member of their race, with the exception of Cooler, which was a movie-only filler character, as well as, not Toriyama manga character, even though Toriyama did design him, as well as, Frost. Now, we've never seen another member of that race. The video games kind of show them, especially Xenoverse, you can play as one of them, but we never have actually seen one. So, other than maybe Chilled, because Toriyama did design Chilled, I just assumed that Chilled was in his first form. So, my question to you, I'm going to start with BLACKENFIST and then go to Jay. Does this mean that Toriyama's retconning that, or biologically, or does it mean that King Cold, Frieza, and Frost are essentially powerful mutants of their own race, and that other members of their race cannot be this strong or unlock this kind of power?
That is a lot of things to speculate. I don't think we can say for sure, because we really haven't seen too many specimens of Frieza's race. So it could be that Frost is also a mutant himself. You also have to keep in mind that, these guys are from completely different universes as well. So maybe it was Frieza and his father were pretty unique in that universe, and Frost is unique in his own universe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like Kabe.
Yeah, exactly. But we just don't know. I mean, it could be a myriad of things, really.
Saiyans or Saiyans, they are not that powerful. In fact, other than Goku, Vegeta, obviously Broly in the movie, other than a few special cases here and there, they're pretty weak. The Namekians were actually stronger. You can make an argument for that, right? Not all of them, but the warrior types were stronger. So maybe it's not out of the realm of possibility that Frost is just special. Jay, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't think Frost or in particular is special. I just think it's just one of those things. He's supposed to be the twin counterpart of Frieza for his universe, and I don't mean Frieza's literal twin brother.
That was
my
next question.
Yeah, I don't mean literal twin brother. I mean he has the same transformations. He's a galactic overlord, so to speak, but he's a good version of it, because everything seems to be the opposite in Universe 6. Vados is a female version of Whis. Champa is a fat version of Beerus. So everything's kind of the opposite. So what I'm saying is Frost has the same traits as Frieza, is obviously the same type of species, and has the same exact transformations. Whether that makes him special, I don't think so. Toriyama, as you said in an interview, did say that Frieza and King Cold were special in that regard.
Yeah, they're mutants.
But yeah, mutants. But I don't know. With Xenoverse and stuff like that, people plan as all these crazy characters that look exactly like Frieza. It's just one of those things. And Frost is the first manga, even though it's Toyotaro's manga, like you mentioned, it is the first member of Frieza's race since King Cold we have seen. And it's very interesting that he has the exact same transformations, because that kind of goes against what Toriyama said in that interview. But of course, that interview was quite some time ago.
Yeah, unless Frost is also a prodigy. That could be an easy way to get out of it.
I mean, an interview from that long ago, I tend to take that sort of stuff with a grain of salt, because he's always changing his mind. I mean, just look at what he did with how Majin Buu was created. He said Majin Buu was created by Bibbidi, and then he changes it to he's been around since time immemorable. So it's kind of one of those things. You take what Toriyama says sometimes with a grain of salt. It's definitely easy to see for me, though, that Frost is the Universe 6 equivalent of Frieza, and that's exactly why he has the same transformations as Frieza.
Two more questions, then we're out of here. Number one, is there a Universe 6 version of King Cold, and will we see him?
I mean, Frost would have to have a father, to be honest with you. I mean, if Frieza has a father, Frost would have to have a father.
Is he alive, though?
I don't know. Their backstories are going to be different if they do show him. I don't think they will show Frost's father. It's just one of those things that
Yeah.
Frieza at the end of the Namek arc and then at the start of the Artificial Human arc, Frieza needed a way to be brought back to life for that particular arc,
Yep.
and that obviously was done through King Cold. Frost, as we know, there's no killing in this tournament, so Frost isn't going to die in this tournament. And we haven't had the same build-up for Frost that we had for Frieza in the Namek arc, so Frost isn't really considered a major antagonist at this point. So Frost isn't going to have any reason to need to be revived, as we know of at this point, and for that reason, I don't think we're going to see any of Frost's relatives in the Universe 6 arc, so to speak. But that's not to say that we won't. I just don't think we will.
I kind of would love to see an army of that race.
Oh, so
maybe
would
see
I.
their home planet and shit. Yeah. Last question. BLACKENFIST. I'll go to you here. Do you think Frost has a further evolution like Frieza? Because hell, if this guy can hang with Goku, new base Goku with the SS God power inside of him, you know, with years of training with Whis and the Room of Spirit and Time in his third form, how strong can this guy really be?
Considering that this guy is stronger than Frieza, I don't think that there's without a doubt that he can do it. We might even see it during the fight. So, yeah.
All right, well, everybody check out BLACKENFIST and Jay's channel. I'm going to put the links down below. This discussion, I'm sure, will continue for the next month or so. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. As always, I love hearing from you guys. Do you think that do you think that King Cold exists, or a King Cold twin exists in Universe 6? And does Frost have a secret form? Either way, we're going to know. We're going to know soon enough. But anyways, catch y'all down the road.